Yeah, we've been quite a few times with different bands that we played with in the past. Yeah.
And you like Amsterdam?
Love Amsterdam. It's a great place. Yeah. Although it's a little bit scary when you're not ready for all the cyclists about to knock you down on the pavements, but I just put that down to experience. It's like next time we'll be ready.
Yeah.
First thing I wanted to ask, I know you've been a journalist in the past.
Yes.
Would you ever go back to that again?
Yeah, I think so. Right now, I'm not a paid journalist for any places, but I run a website and stuff with some friends. So I think it's important to me to kind of keep writing and doing different things. I guess I only stopped that like a couple months ago because things were getting really busy with the band. But yeah, I've been really lucky to be able to work in writing, which is a passion of mine, and music. So can't really complain.
And you can write also with making music.
Yeah, so I think it's just it's good to kind of keep being creative in loads of different ways. So yeah, I think I'm going to try and keep just every so often, and then when this all eventually falls on its arse, then I can go try and get some jobs, go begging for some jobs. That'll be fine. Yeah, sorry, bottom.
But you don't expect it to fall on its bottom real quick, I think.
Hopefully not soon.
Hopefully not. We have an album coming out in September, so if it all fails before then, I'll be like, no, we didn't even get to put out the record.
And what does the title mean of the new record?
It's a lyric from a song. It's a lyric from one of the tunes that we have. So, yeah, I think the full line is "Give me the bones of what you believe. Maybe they'll save you from me." And it felt like I liked that lyric a lot, and I felt like it seemed like a nice fit for the record. I think, and I like the idea that in a way, the album is kind of, it sounds really cheesy, but the album is like what we've done. This is what we believe in. This is our thing.
Yeah, because it's your first album.
Yeah.
Are you scared to put it out there, or are you excited?
I'm excited. It's like we've been writing these songs since sort of the end of 2011, so it feels like we're ready to let the world hear what we've been up to, rather than just a few select singles that we've released so far and EP tracks and stuff. So I don't have any fear about it. I'm confident that we've made the best record that we could possibly make at this stage. And I just can't wait to get it out there.
And how did you? What was the first start of you three as a trio?
Well, Iain and Martin have known each other for quite a long time because they met when they were both doing music at university, and Martin did session in another band that Iain was in called Aerogram. So they'd been working together in that format before, and you'd always kind of talked about doing something together, but never really done anything yet. And then I was recording an EP with my other band, Music Archives, and Iain was producing it, so we met through that. And then he had mentioned that they were starting a writing project and asked if I wanted to come down and help them out. And yeah, then we wrote as a band for about 8 months, and then we put our first thing on the internet in like May 2012.
12.
Yes.
And that took off right away?
Yeah, it was a bit scary.
Yeah.
Like it was
What was scary about it?
just because we were like, oh, we'll put a song online and see what happens, and then maybe we'll think about playing some shows.
Well, that was the scary part, is we hadn't played live, and it was just like, oh my god, now we need to learn how to actually do this thing live.
Yeah, but I think it was helpful for us, especially like where we are now. It was really helpful for us that we had written probably like almost 3/4 of the record by the time people had even figured out we were a band. So I think it's really good from our kind of comfort view that we had written.
Did you have enough time to prepare for all the firsts, because it's first time performing, first album now? Did you have enough time?
I think timing-wise it worked out pretty well, although I think if we had released Lies a couple of months earlier than we did, it wouldn't have worked out well. We would have been panicking.
But yeah, I think it was good at that point. We were like, when we put the song online, we were getting more comfortable with what we wanted this band to be and what we wanted it to be like. So I think that was helpful, and definitely what came out of 8 months of writing in a studio. Whereas I think you learn about your band in a different way when you're playing live, and like we've been learning more about that recently.
What are the things you learned recently about?
I guess just like in terms of like stage dynamic and things like that, and how you approach a live show. Because I guess it was strange because before this I've only been in more kind of like guitar-based rock bands and stuff, and I think it's been strange fronting, as it were, an electro band as opposed to an indie rock band.
What is the biggest difference?
I think it's just the preconceived notion that if you're fronting an electro band, you need to be kind of serious, po-face, like looking at your shoes kind of thing. And I think that's kind of what I mean about like learning live. Like we didn't
want to be that band.
Like I mean, I love loads of those bands, but I think in terms of our personalities, that's not
Yeah.
that would be very false. So I think it was just kind of figure out how to incorporate our personalities into the live show and give people a sense of the band properly.
Yeah, we wanted it to be like a live performance as much as possible. Like we try and play as much as we can. Obviously, we have a finite number of fingers, but we try and play as much as possible live and try and put as much into it live as we can. So it's not just like Lauren says, people standing sort of looking bored behind keyboards, Because we come from a rock background and we want to rock out.
You want to put a show out there as well.
Yeah.
What are the things you put in your show that are specifically with this aim to make it more?
Go on.
I guess in terms of like crowd interaction and stuff, I think that's an important thing for me. Not a kind of like run down and touch the hands thing, but trying not to make it feel quite as much an us and them kind of thing.
And how do you do that?
I think it's just chatting, talking like you normally would, and I'm sure that doesn't work like for all performers, but I think in terms of my comfort level and feeling like relaxed with what I'm doing, I kind of feel like I need to do that, whereas if I was having to do a kind of like put your hands in the air thing, it's just really forced for me, and I guess everyone's different, and that was the thing that we had to try and remember. Everyone's different. Don't try and base your performance on other people.
Got to
Just
make it
try
your
and-
own.
Yeah.
Like Lauren said, it's the live show and the music and every part of what we do should be and is, I feel, an extension of our personalities, whether it's videos we do or, the artwork or the actual music itself. It should reflect us, and I think that's really important to us.
That way it keeps it more fun for you as well, I think.
Absolutely, yeah. It's not like we're putting on an act that isn't who we are as people.
You're also going to support Depeche Mode.
Yes.
I see you are really tensing up.
We're really excited. They've a massive influence on us as musicians and on this band, so it was kind of ridiculous to get us to play with them. So.
How did this go? Did you get a call?
I don't really know how
I think it was something along the lines of our booker had pitched to their booker or something like that, and saw what happened with that. But yeah, it was kind of insane.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, 4 shows.
And how did you first react when you heard it? Where
well,
was
kind of
this and how did
disbelief.
you-
I think Martin's reaction was
Quite
don't
obscene,
even.
you can't really repeat.
Yeah,
all
well,
the
yeah.
words that
No,
he
but I think his
said.
initial reaction was if this is just something that's not confirmed, I don't even want to hear about it. It's like, tell me when it's booked and it's announced, and then I'll be excited about it.
Yeah. But I think as much as it's nerve-wracking, it's like an amazing experience, and just getting to see those guys doing what they're doing up close will be really interesting, just
Yeah.
to see how they do it.
Yeah, I just really hope their fans like our music.
I know, because I heard lots about Depeche Mode fans like egging support bands in the 80s and stuff. They didn't like the support bands, so I'm worried that will happen. But I'm sure, hopefully, no one will do that to us. No.
Yeah, if it's cream eggs, then
Catch
it's all
them
good.
and eat them.
Save them in wee baskets for the
Yeah.
tour.
But you're looking forward to that. And are you preparing things for their big shows to do? Some extra,
I don't think we'll.
or are you just happy if everything goes fine?
I don't think. I guess we were thinking about it, but then at the same time, you're never going to be able to be as good as Depeche Mode. So you can only do your own show to the best of your abilities and try and translate that as well as possible in a bigger venue, and then see what happens. I think we've accepted well in advance that we can't compete with that. So let's just do the
Tens
best we
of
can do
thousands pounds
within
of
our
visual
little,
production. It's
yeah,
like,
within
nah.
our little area. Let's just be the
Just
best
beat
of
us.
and
Just
then-
beat us. Amplified.